Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Thursday. I wanted to say Saturday, and then I was going to say Friday. I'm like, nope, today's Thursday, March the 7th, 2024, and this is Flosstube. I think it's number 64. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about my cross stitch. I do all kinds of projects. I got all kinds of milestones and goals and all kinds of fun things, boards and categories and all the fun stuff. If you're returning to my channel, I would like to welcome you back. Thank you so much for watching and following along in my journey. I have a lot to share today. I'm going to try to not, I know everyone loves the long videos, but I'm going to try to not make it like a 2-hour video. I do have a lot to show though. I had like an epic stitching weekend. I think I did probably over 3,000 stitches on the weekend. It was a lot. I got a lot of stuff done. So I had 12 projects pulled to work on this past week since Friday, and I worked on all of them. I completed milestones on all of them except for 2. Here's my board. Look at all the done. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. So, the only 2 that I did not complete the milestones on was Ocean ABC and Aurora Cabin. Aurora Cabin, I only did like 100 stitches on it. I'm like, is this even worth showing? But yeah, I'll go ahead and show it. But I only did 100 because I was like, I still had some time after I was done with one of the projects for the night. And I was like, let me see how much I can get done. But I was doing like a bunch of half stitches, and you know, it's a dimensions kit, so it was like annoying to find my place and all that stuff. So anywho, as you can see, I have a lot to show. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start with the least amount of progress, and that would be Aurora Cabin. This is a kit from Dimensions. I started this 150 years ago, and it's a Dimensions Gold collection. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I had, let me see, where's my card? I write everything on index cards. So I have an end goal of 6,000 stitches on it. I had that goal divided into 12 milestones of 500 stitches each. I only did 100. And I decided to work in the trees above the cabin. So this right here is what I did. This area right here is where I worked. Bunch of half stitches right there. I was debating on coming down here and working, and then I was like, nah, I don't feel like it. I want to come up and get some of these trees done. What am I doing? There we go. I wanted to come up here and get some of the work on the trees done, so I decided to do that. So I made, I don't know. When I pull this out to get the other 400 for that milestone, next time I pull this out, I don't know if I'm gonna come over here and kind of try to get some of the trees worked on, or I don't know. I'll probably change my mind again and work in a completely different spot because, you know, that's how I roll. That is how I roll. So I still need 400 stitches to get the milestone done. So this went back in the basket. I already went through last night and I put all of my, I sorted through my stuff that I draw. And I put the stuff that could go back in the basket, back in the basket. So it's ready to go. I was trying to be more prepared today than I was last week. Next up is Ocean ABC. This is a kit from Designworks, designed by Krista Hamrick. I forgot to look to see who the artist was for the Aurora Cabin, but I have multiple pieces by Krista Hamrick with Designworks. That's why I know who that is. Anyway, so I have this divided into, I have a goal of completing 4 blocks, 4 alphabet blocks. I don't know why I did this. the first milestone is to complete the G block right here. And I did another 300 stitches on it. So that's where I'm at with it so far. Got some pretty good progress on it. After I go through my whips, I'll kind of talk about what I feel like I want to do with my milestones and my goals. I feel like I want to change them. Not all of them, just some of them. Okay, that was it for the ones that I didn't complete. Now let's get into the stuff I did complete, the milestones I did complete. All right. Next up is a really old kit from Jan Lynn. This is called Once Upon a Time. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I have a goal of 4,000 stitches on it. I have it divided into 8 milestones of 500 stitches each. I had already completed milestone 1 for a previous category, so I did another, I was working on milestone number 2 for another 500 stitches, and I keep forgetting to use my board. I was working on milestone 2 for another 500 stitches, and I got that done. And this time I decided to work on the little flag thing that she's holding. So I did a little, oh, my nose itches. So I started working on the pole right here, and I got a little bit of the sky done, but I was mainly working on getting this part of the flag banner done, and I came up here and did a little bit of the sky that's up here. So that is where that is so far. So milestone number 2 is done, and this is in 2 categories, right? This is in 2 categories. Oh, I could just look at my board. My board I marked with dots if they were gonna be pulled out. So so I've worked on it for 2 categories now, and so it is going to go away until, and I'm just doing whatever came in the kit. It's a 28 count white even weave. I'm doing it over 2, but I did 2 categories, so it will go away until 50% of one of those categories is done. It's in, what is it in? It's in Fancy Like and, oh, it's in there already, okay. It's in Fancy Like and Large Kits, right? Yeah. Fancy Like and Large Kits. So I've already done both, so it's gonna go away until that is done. Okay, next up is from Cute Patterns by Maria. I got this off of Etsy. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal of 8,000 stitches on this. I have it divided into 8 milestones of 1,000 stitches each. I only needed to do 400 more stitches to complete milestone number 2, which I did. And I worked more in the blue pumpkin because I only had to do 400 stitches. So I was like, let me just stay where I was and get some more of that pumpkin filled in. I'm doing this on a 14 count Aida in the color Dog Pea. That's my name for the color. It looks like a dog peed on it. But I did 400 more stitches in the blue pumpkin here. So this was in 2 categories, I wanna say. Yeah, this was in seasonal series. I already did the 1,000 stitches up here for that, and then I pulled it to work on for the Etsy category, and I did the remaining 400 to be the second 1,000. So this is also going to go away until 50% of one of its categories is done. Next up is one of my year-long pieces. This is going to stay out all year. This is the Heaven and Earth Design Sal that I signed up for at the end of last year. I am doing Merry Mushroom Village Picnic 2 by Amy Stewart. It is a crop of the Merry Mushroom Village Picnic. And I am shooting to get the entire thing done by the end of the year. I believe that part 2 will be released in the beginning of next month. I am doing this 2/1 half cross on a 28 count easy count Lugana. I have a goal of 1,200 stitches a week on this. Since I'm doing it 10 stitch, that is very, very achievable for me. And I've been keeping up with it. So, hang on, I've actually, Merry Mushroom Village Picnic 2. Real quick, let me make sure that my math is right. Hang on. Yeah, okay. So I've done another 1,200 stitches on this since the last time you saw it. And for part 1, I have done 12,000 stitches total since the beginning of the year, out of 22,932 for part 1. So part 1 is 52.33% done. That will of course drop down pretty significantly once part 2 gets released, and I have to export my progress, load up the part 2 into Pattern Keeper, and then import my progress. Hopefully that works. Never actually done that before, so it's going to be kind of a guess to see if that's going to work or not. If not, then I'll probably just finish part 1, and then if I can't get everything to like mesh, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But yeah, so I'm over halfway done with part 1, and I'll just keep plugging away at that 1,200 stitches a month. So that's going to stay out all year. And if I mathed correctly, there's 44,400 stitches left on that piece altogether. Okay, next up is from Little Dove Designs. This is Black Cats and Pumpkins. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal to finish 2 bands. And I'm doing the middle one and the one below it. That's my goal, is to do this band and this band here. So I've already completed 1 milestone for this. And so when I pulled it last week, I was working towards milestone number 2, which was the pumpkins and the cat. And I got it done. I'm doing this on a 16 count or a 14 count. I think it's a 14 count black Aida, chalkboard Aida. And that is where I'm at with it so far. Oh, it looks good. I kind of like how my windows are. So my apartment, the windows, my living room faces like, I guess, northwest. Depending on what time of the year it is, the sun, when it goes down, will either come in the windows right here or come in the windows over here. So, and it's late, kind of late afternoon right now. So I'm like getting some good sunlight, but that's where I'm at with it so far. If you're stitching this, just be careful with one of the symbols, because when I was working on it, hang on, let me find the page. When I was working, I actually had to frog out one of the colors in the cat, like in the thing around the cat. I'm just going to show you this right here. So that right there, that symbol right there, right? When I pulled the colors to do it, now granted it was kind of late and I was tired, so that could have contributed to it. When I pulled that symbol, it was the square with a line through it, right? I'm looking at all the other symbols that are there, and I see this one. I'm like, okay, 351. So I just pull it out, and then I do all the pumpkins and stuff, and then I start working on the cat, and I get to that symbol, and I'm like putting it in, and I'm comparing it to the cover photo. I'm like, it's like almost like compared to the blue that it's in, that don't look right. But I was like, all right, it's the correct symbol, so I kept going with it, and then I happened to look at the very end. How rude, right? Out of all the symbols in the world that you could choose from. Really? So I had to frog the 351 out. And it was just one line going around. But I had to frog the 351 out and then restitch it in the correct color. I'm like, that was a pain. That was a real pain. But anyway, I fixed it, obviously. So that was 911 stitches. And this was one of my weekend projects. So and it was like the last one of the day. I think I was working on this on Sunday. And so it was my last one of the day. And I was just like, by the time I realized what I did, I'm like, it was late. And I was like, all right, let me at least just get the color out and then I'll fix it later. I did that. I fixed it on Tuesday before I did my Tuesday stitching. Somebody is making some weird noises out there. So this project, that was milestone number 2 that I did. And so this one will be going away. I did this towards the sampler-esque category. And it's only in 2 categories. I already did, where is it? Black cats. So I done milestone 1, which was the words for holiday, and then I did the pumpkins and the cat for the sampler-esque category for milestone number 2. So this one will go away until half of one of those categories are done. And then it'll go back in the basket. Next up is Honeymoon Sunset. This is my challenge piece I am doing with Aurora. We each picked a project and we wanted to do 25,000 stitches on our respective projects in 25 weeks. She is doing Dragons of the Sabbat and by Pain Free Crafts, and I'm doing Honeymoon Sunset by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It is $8.69 by $6.49. It has 133 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. What is that whistling? Weird noise. I hate my neighbors. Let me see, where did I work? Oh, so I decided to work kind of in where the sunset is. I don't know if you guys hear that, but I hear it and it's distracting me and it's bothering me. Probably one of the stupid little kids in the neighborhood. So I worked in this area right here. I got my 1,000 stitches in. That's one thing that when I decided to do weekly updates, I'm like, I feel like the Haid style and this one, like before I'm like 2,400 stitches, 2,000 stitches. Now I'm like, here's 1,000, here's 1,200. It's like, it's a lot, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like it's not as like bam in your face as the higher numbers were. But I worked right here. I'm not going to show the whole project because it's a lot to like hold it out and everything. But I have a total on the entire, all right, maybe I will. I have a total on the whole piece of 179,190 stitches done out of 563,981. I am at 31.77%. Here's the whole thing. This is being stitched on a 25 count easy count Lugana 2 over 1/10 stitch. So here's the whole thing. I still have park threads I have to work in. Maybe I'll do that. Where'd my park threads go? Oh, there's not a whole lot left. I got park threads over here. I have like one park thread over here. But yeah, this is the whole thing that I have so far. As you can see, I started in a corner, I worked my way across, I worked my way down so all 4 corners were stitched on. And then I just started working in random spots because that's what I do. And I can stitch wherever I feel like now. So I don't know if I'm gonna work those park threads in, I kind of liked working over here where I worked at this past week. I kind of liked working right here, and I was debating on trying to go ahead and get this filled in so it met up here. So that was done. And I don't know. I don't know where I want to, I don't know where I want to go next. It'll be a surprise. It's a surprise for me too. Oh, I do have the boys this week. Oh my God. One of my patients gave me the saddest news the other day. She said it's spring break next week. I was like, oh, spring break is next week. And let me tell you why that makes me sad. Because I will have my boys, which means they are going to be begging me to go do stuff that's going to cost money. And it's going to raise my grocery bill exponentially next week because they're going to be home for 3 meals a day. Oh, God. Oh, brother. But I'll probably take them, I'm probably going to take them to, oh, what's the place? I think it's not Sky Zone. Sky Zone? The trampoline, the indoor trampoline park. They really like going there. And what I like about it is I can bring my stitching with me. So I might take them over there. I think I might do 2 things with them. I think I'm going to take them to Sky Zone over the weekend. I got to call my mom. Hi, Mom. I got to call my mom. I might try to get with her this weekend if they're not busy. And I think on Wednesday, depending on my mood, I might take them over to Dave & Buster's because Dave & Buster's has half off their games on Wednesdays. Like it's half price for them to play games on Wednesdays. But I remember I did that last year for spring break and it was super busy. So I had nowhere to really sit. I was just kind of walking around. But I could have a beer while I was walking around. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. So, anywho, next up is from the Witchy Stitcher. This is PSL. They're here. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing this on a 28 count even weave Lugana in the color Minerva by Seraphim. And I'm doing it 2/2. And I'm glad that I was like, oh, I gotta double check, make sure it fits on 2, and it does. And I'm glad that I double checked the measurements and the measurement of the fabric because it's only gonna take up half of the fabric. I had to see which way it was going. It's only gonna take up half the fabric. So I have basically this entire half, once I'm done, this entire half of the fabric to do another project on. Yeah. So that is, I did 500 stitches on it. I started in the middle. So this is the zombie PSL, pumpkin spice latte. That's his mouth. And then I was trying to like do a color and then do some of the white and then do a color and then do some of the white because I freaking hate stitching on white thread. I can't stand it. I don't like stitching white B5200 and 3865, and I think that's what this is 3865. I can't stand it. Stitches look crappy with it. I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But I did, where's my card? Oh, here it is. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. So I did 500 stitches on it. I have a goal of 3,000 stitches divided into 6 milestones of 500 stitches each. And this is only in one category. It's in the holiday category. And so since I got the milestone done, this will go away until half of the milestones in the holiday category have been completed. If I can figure out how to fold this. There we go. Really super easy pattern to follow. I really enjoyed it. This was actually my first piece that I started from the Witchy Stitcher. I have a few patterns by her that I got on Etsy when they did, like, somebody started this like Witchy Stitcher Day to help her through, like, you know, pay for treatment from a cancer diagnosis. But I don't have the fabric to do the patterns on, so I haven't started them. But I got that from a subscriber, and it's really easy to follow. I may have to, where is that coming from? Right there. I may have to close those. Hang on one second. I gotta close those blinds for just a tiny bit, because it is like getting right in my face. Hello. Oh, that's better. Okay. All right, next up is a piece from Maya Stitch. And this is Steampunk Coffee Mill. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I believe I did my stitch with me on this. I'm doing this on a 14 count white Aida with 2 strands of thread, just DMC. Gotta make sure I show this the right direction. There we go. So I did 500 stitches on this. I have a goal of 3,000 stitches divided into 6 milestones of 500 stitches each. So I got the first milestone done. And it is in 2 categories, I believe. Yeah, hang on. I gotta put the pin in my computer. Hang on. It's in, yeah, so this is in 2 categories. It's in Etsy and it's in seasonal series. So this 500 stitches went under the seasonal series category. So this did go back in the basket to be drawn again, and I can draw it and do another 500 to work on it towards the Etsy category before this goes away. Got a couple more pieces to show. Next up is an old Bucilla kit. I bought this off of a lady on Facebook Marketplace for like $1. This is called Best of Christmas. Designed by Linda Gillum. Copyright 1992. Oh, Linda Gillum is from the Cooler Design Studio. No wonder I thought it was cute, because I like their stuff. But that is what it's going to look like when it's done. So I decided to, it's my problem before, I pulled this like a week or 2 ago, and I was saying that my problem before was that the thread is just in the typical Bucilla bunches, and you have to sort the thread and figure out the colors and, you know, get your own floss holder and all that stuff. And I was like, well, I'm out of floss holders, so I didn't really feel like, and I didn't feel like buying more or making more. And so I was like, well, maybe I will figure out the DMC equivalent and just do that. And that's what I did. I just looked at the colors, and I kind of found DMC colors that were pretty similar. And then I went through and wrote down, so I just, because I have the whole DMC. I've been collecting floss for like 100 years. So I just went through and found pretty pretty equivalent DMC colors. So I did 500 stitches on it. I have a goal of 4,000 stitches on this, divided into 8 milestones of 500 stitches each. And I have this in 2 categories, I believe. Christmas, which is the one I did it for, and large kits. Yes, Christmas and large kits. So these 500 stitches went towards the Christmas category, and then I went ahead and put it back in the basket so that I can pull it again to do another 500 stitches for the large kits category. And once I got the color issue straightened out, the thread issue straightened out, I was like, oh, this is like super easy to work on. Okay. Okay. Couple more. I keep saying that. Couple more. It's like these things are like reproducing on my couch. All right, next up is from Yasmin's Made with Love. This is Kaleidoscope. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And a lot of these were new starts. If you're not seeing before photos, they're new starts. I'm just doing this on a 14 count white Aida. I did 500 stitches on it. Doesn't that look good so far? I loved it. I really enjoyed working on this. I have a goal of 4,000 stitches, 8 milestones of 500 stitches each. This is only in one category. It is in other, because it's a paper pattern that I picked up, I think from like Market or something. The sun is like, I see it like being weird on me. Anyway, so it's a paper pattern. It's not like, it doesn't really fall into any of the categories that I had listed. So this is in the other category. And so since I got the milestone done, it's going to go away until half of the pieces in the other category have milestones completed. Okay, last piece, promise. Okay, last but not least is a small dimensions kit called Stacked Teacups, designed by Susan Wingett. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal. This is also a new start. I should have been saying that if it was a new start or not, but of course you'll see it if you see pictures. I did 500 stitches on this. I had to make sure it was the right way. I did 500 stitches on this. The blue here, that's the background. These are all half stitches here. But that's where I got with it. I have a goal of 3,000 stitches divided into 6 milestones of 500 stitches each. And this is only in one category. It's in the small kits category. So this will go away until half of the milestones from the small kits category have been completed. Those are my whips. I did pretty good. I got through that in about 33 minutes. So let's update the big boards real quick. Got my Blues Clues marker. Got all my boards here. Okay. Some cat hair decided to travel up with them. All right, let's get these boards updated real quick. Well, let's go ahead and do this real quick. Okay. Ow. I got pinched. So this is where I'm marking the progress for the Honeymoon Sunset and Heaven and Earth Designs Sal's with, yeah. So I did another 1,000 stitches on Honeymoon Sunset. So I've done 10,000 stitches on that piece so far this year. I got 15,000 to go. And then the Hade style, I got another 12,000, I wish, 1,200 stitches on that one. So we're moving right along with this. That's my finish that I had last week. And then that over there, one lonely finish so far this year, but that's okay. All right. Let me put this over here. Okay. Hang on. All right. There we go. Start from the beginning. Okay, so let's get these marked off. If you haven't seen my boards, I have like 300 something whips or pieces that I either want to start or already have started, but I have everything pared down to 150. So all my projects are listed, regardless of if I'm working on it, because I made these boards before I decided to pare it down. So we are going to go through. This is just something fun to do. It's not really something that you need to try to sit there and scrutinize and read. We're going to go through and mark off the milestones that I have done. So first one is Best of Christmas, and that is right up here. And then next up is Black Cats and Pumpkins. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more milestones were completed this past week. Isn't that awesome? All right, Honeymoon Sunset I did. Kaleidoscope is on the next one. Kaleidoscope. H-I-J. Oh, there it is, down here at the bottom. Yeah, Kaleidoscope. Next up, Merry Mushroom Village. Once Upon a Time. Where does this go to? Ah, here we go. Once Upon a Time is right here. And I will say this is not as fun as drawing a line through them. Once Upon a Time. PSL, they're here. Next board. Ah! The board ran away. It's okay because I didn't need it. All right, PSL, they're here. It's up here. And Pumpkins is right here. And Stacked Teacups is right here. And Steampunk Coffee Mill is right here. There we go. Let's just take a moment to admire the one thing I've gotten to really actually mark off, which was my finish. So if I finish something or if all of the milestones get completed on a piece, then I will mark through it. Okay, now what we'll do next is we're going to update my category board right here. I was not completely prepared for this one though. See, now look. I took a picture of my thing because my numbers were all jacked up. So I erased them and then rewrote the numbers last night. And one of the cats, probably Mr. Whiskers, rubbed their tail. Didn't sit on it, but rubbed their tail across it. What punks. Was it you, Mr. Whiskers? Was it you? He's like, what, who, me? Okay, so let's update the category board. Now, I was not really prepared for this because usually what I'll do is I'll write down on a piece of paper, I will write down the categories. Hang on. Let me just do it on this board real quick. Christmas, sampler-esque, other. I usually will write it down so I don't have to sit here and do this on camera. It's whatever. Holiday. Etsy. Oh wow, they're like all different categories right now. Huh, they are all different categories. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I didn't have to do all that. That was a waste of time. Okay. So the Christmas category had Best of Christmas done. So we're going to go from 2 to 3 on there. Hang on. I'm trying to adjust it so I'm not like sunk down. Okay, and then next up is, so that was Best of Christmas, and then Black Cats and Pumpkins was the Sampler-esque category. So we're going to go from 2 to 3 on here. And then Kaleidoscope was an other, so we're going to go to 2, from 1 to 2 on here. Once Upon a Time was in Fancy Like. So Fancy Like, we're going to go from 5 to 6. PSL, they're here, was in Holiday. That's going to go from 2 to 3. Yeah. What's going on with my green marker? Is it the marker or is it the board? There we go. 2 to 3. All right. Oh, shit. What was that? The holiday category? Oh, PSL. Okay. Pumpkins was for Etsy. So that's going to go from 1 to 2. Might be the marker. Apparently I used my marker. I got to figure out. Might be the board. I don't know. Anyway. Stacked Teacups was small kits. So that's going to go from 5. Could be this little eraser leaving grease marks or something. To 6. And Steampunk Coffee Mill was seasonal series. So this is going to go from 16 to 17. And then we're going to update my milestones. I did 10 milestones. So this is going to go from 65 to 75. So I've done 75 milestones so far this year. Now, if this makes no sense to you, it's okay, because I'm about to mark them off on my papers too. So what I'm doing is I have all my pieces divided up into categories, and some of them are in multiple categories. I'm just trying to figure out a different way on how I can pick my projects and have some fun with how I'm working on stuff, where I get to work on it more than once in a year, kind of like what I did last year. Last year I only got to work on a lot of my pieces one time, and that was it. So I was trying to find a way to work on them more than once. And I came up with this. So far it's working out pretty good. What do I do with my marker? My Blue's Clues marker. Do you see it? Where did I put my marker? Hold on. Where'd the fucking marker go? Oh, here it was behind me. Okay. All right, so I was trying to find different ways to actually get to work on my projects more than once in a year. So I divided all my projects into categories. I made big goals, which are a guideline. I don't really intend on having these goals done by the end of the year. I just want to see where I'm at by the end of the year, and then kind of use that as a basis to kind of reform the game plan for next year. So what I did was I printed my Excel spreadsheet. I did each category on a piece of paper. This is the first one you're seeing, holiday. So what I did last week after my video was I went through and I went ahead and marked what milestone the piece will be worked on for that particular category. So you can kind of see how they're all going to start being different as everything. Like this one is Enchanted Pumpkin is a 3 because it's in 3 different categories. So by the time I actually work on it for the holiday category, that will be it'll be milestone number 3. But then once 50% of these milestones are marked off, all the projects will go in the basket to be picked again for that category. So why do I have this one? For PSL, they're here. Okay, so we're gonna mark off PSL, they're here. So there's that one. And then for seasonal series, it's like 2 pages because there's so many of them. Seasonal series with Steampunk Coffee Mill, which is on page 2. So we're gonna mark that one off. I did notice after I printed this off and marked things off, one of the, where is it? My full coverage piece right here has Honeymoon Sunset listed and it shouldn't. So I don't know if that's actually gonna go, I didn't want to really mess with the numbers until on my board until I really had a chance to kind of look at that. But yeah. Okay, so Fancy Like, right? Yeah. Fancy Like I did Once Upon a Time, which is right here. And if the text is in red, it's in more than one category. If it's black, it's only in that one single category. The Etsy one had pumpkins, which is right here. I feel like a lot of people like, well, I know Becky, my friend Becky was messaging me and she was like, oh, once you printed the categories out and marked them off that way, it made so much more sense. So I'm glad I did this. Christmas, Best of Christmas up here. So there's that one. And the large kits, nothing. I'm just kidding. Ha ha ha. Small kits, there we go. Small kits is Stacked Teacups. So Stacked Teacups is in black because it's just the one category right there. And my master list that has all the projects, these numbers are a lot higher. But this is just from the 150 projects that I have to pick from. Nothing for Gnomes. Sampler-esque is Black Cats and Pumpkins. So this one is getting pretty good. Black Cats and Pumpkins. So, sampler-esque. Yeah, so if I pick one of these projects here, honestly, if I pick one of these projects actually Holiday Quaker, if I pick Holiday Quaker, it won't go for that category, or Autumn Sampler, never mind. But if I complete one more milestone for this, then Black Cats and Pumpkins will come back out to be worked on for milestone. Let me back up a second. One more milestone completed for this category, and the completed milestones will go, like those projects will go back in the basket to be picked again, which means that Black Cats and Pumpkins, Spring Sampler, and Winter Sampler will all be put back in the basket to be drawn again. And all 3 of them, because all 3 of them were worked on for milestone number 2 for this category, all 3 of them will have milestone number 3. Okay, cells, nothing, other, kaleidoscope. So other, if I have two more milestones done here, then the 4 projects that had their milestones done will go back in the basket. Those 4 will start working on milestone number 2, while the other 4 will still be on milestone 1. And so that's why I was like, oh, it'll be fun later in the year as these milestones continue to progress. And like right now, it's kind of boring. Everything's like milestone 1 or milestone 2, but it'll just be fun to see how different the numbers are as the year progresses and we get further into the year with where all the different milestones are. So next up, let me move these down here. We're gonna pick time to draw my projects. But I don't want to put that on there. What am I doing? Oh, I need to reset my set. All right, here's that one. And oh, this one, I'm getting all my projects accessible. Okay, here it is, my basket. So I'm gonna draw 10 projects to work on for the next week. I'm kind of digging the weekly update thing. I'm kind of liking it. Let me put this here in case I need it. Yeah, I'm kind of, so far I'm liking it. So we'll see if I continue to like it. I know you guys do. You guys like go apeshit over these videos. Oh. But if it works for me, I'll keep doing the weekly updates because I actually enjoy this. I like picking new projects. I was practice picking last night. I had my basket and I'm like, oh, what would I have picked if I was filming? Okay, so first up is Year of Gnomes, April. I actually just pulled this last week, no, the week before, and started it. So one thing that I was kind of debating on, honestly, is I was debating on if I was going to change some of the milestones to be more along the lines of 500 stitches. I'm still on the fence about it, mainly because some of them are already started. But like the ABC pieces, I don't know, because then it's going to mess up my angle. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I might just keep it the way it is and just say whatever, and they just won't get as much work or something. Not as much work, but as many milestones done. Okay, so first up is Year of Gnomes, April. I started this a couple weeks ago, and April. I'm just highlighting them so that I know when I go to do my board update. So this is from Cross Stitch for Everyone on Etsy. I think she calls it Gnome a Month now. Okay, all right. Where is it? This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have an end goal to finish it. I just started it the other week, so it is only partway done with the first milestone. That is my starting point. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross and a 28 count easy count Lugana Monaco. And my first milestone is to get this to 15%. I've done 500 stitches so far, and my starting percent is 5.45%. So I think I need like I think I need like 1,000 stitches on this. Under 1,000 stitches, maybe 800 to get this to the 15%. And when I do that, that will go towards seasonal series. It's in 3 categories. It's in seasonal series, Sal's, and Gnomes. So this first 15% will go towards seasonal series. Okay, next up. Move a couple things here. There we go. All right, number 2. I just worked on this Steampunk coffee mill. That's okay. It's really not that bad of a stitch, honestly. I just showed it to you. This piece right here. So I will be working towards milestone number 2. Just a reminder that this is my starting point. And I will be working on it towards milestone number 2 in the Etsy category. 500 stitches for that one. Okay, next up. Autumn favorites. Where do it be? Yay! This is from Shannon Christine Designs. It is a whip. I've not worked on it yet this year, but this is a whip. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal to finish it. My first milestone will be the truck, the leaves, and the flower. Oh, so the truck and the leaves around it and this little sunflower right here. And I'm doing this on a 16 count Aida in chalkboard. And this is my starting point. I actually have not worked on this in over a year because I worked on this in January and that was my goal, was to get that done. I did it in like a day and then I had to put it down and walk away. So projects like this are kind of what inspired me to do what I'm doing this year so I could work on it more than once. So the truck, the leaves, and the flower is the milestone for that. And this is, I thought when it said Autumn Favorites, I was like, is this the one I'm thinking of? Is this the Shannon Christine piece? This is only in one category. It's in seasonal series. But we're making progress on that one. I need 26 milestones completed before those projects go back in the basket. And I'm at 17 right now. And so far I have 2 projects that are pulled for that category. I don't know if they're both going to get done. I don't know how much stitching is in that truck. We'll have to play that by ear. Okay, number 4. Mountain Cabin. Okay, Mountain Cabin is over here. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. Oh my God. Is this it? Yeah. Okay, this is Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Dominic Davison. Where do it be? Here it is. And I got the max color version. This is 725 by 518. It's got 238 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. This was a new start. This was my new year, new start. I was doing a stitch along with, or start along I should say, with Case from Jeep Girl Stitches, but she had a lot of shit going on at the end of the year. I don't think that she started it, but I'm still going to count it as a start along. And I need my scissors because the little tassel from the bag is stuck. Ow. The bag is stuck to the, there we go, dangly bit. Okay. So Mountain Cabin. So yeah, I don't know if she started it. I don't think she did, but I'm still going to count it in the Sal category because that's what I started it for, as I was intending on it to be a Sal with her. So I have already done 1,000 stitches. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. This is my starting point. So milestone number 1 is done. I'll be working on this for the Sal category. Milestone number 2 to get another 1,000 stitches on it. We'll see if I get all 1,000 before you see me again. I'm not 100% certain if that will happen. But all we can do is try. So my starting percentage, just FYI, I've done 1,000 stitches on it so far out of 375,550, and I'm at 0.27% with that one so far. All right, next up. I think this is number 5. Colorful Cow. This will be a new start. If I can find it. Here it is. This is a kit from Artiste. Ah, I'm just going to use whatever came in the kit. Oh, is this the bag that's jacked up? Yep. The zipper part is like a little messed up, so it's like hard to open. All right, Colorful Cow. This is, I don't need to pull the rest of this stuff out because it's a new start. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on it with 6 milestones of 1,000 stitches each. I don't like these 1,000 stitch ones anymore. I like the 500s because I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that in a day. Oh, Colorful Cow. This is only in one category. It's in the large kits category. So we'll see if I get this done. I'm probably going to, how is this pattern? Is this, I will most likely start in the middle because the background is not stitched. All right. It's cute. I like it. All right. Oh, I need, oh, damn it. I might end up changing this bag. That's annoying. I just need to slide that in there for right now. Okay. Next up. Bake the World. This is now a whip. I started it like a month or so ago. I'm still working on milestone number 1. Here it is. I've done 500 stitches on it so far. From Franny Ritter Designs, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal to finish it. My first milestone is to do the 3 cupcakes here in the middle. I have 1 cupcake done, except for the beads. I don't have the beads done, but that's okay. So I have 1 cupcake done, and that was 500 stitches. I got a small start on one of the other cupcakes. And so I may or may not, because if it was 500 and I got that done, I may or may not be able to get this. It might take 3 stitching sessions. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if this will be done. This is being done on a 28 count Jobelin in the color Coffee by Witch Elf. I was wondering why I kept the bag that the fabric came in, but that's why, because it had the name of the fabric on there. All right. How many is that? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I need 4 more. Jesus. Oh, and Bake the World is in, oh, hang on, I need to mark that off on my, I need to highlight it on my list. Bake the world. That is in the other category. I might try to maybe work on it this weekend when I have more time to stitch, and maybe I could actually get that milestone done. Cuddly Bear quilt. Oh, where is that monster? Here it is. So, it's a super old blanket that I have from Sunset. I bought it like 1994, so I probably bought it like maybe 95, 96. I have a goal of 4,000 stitches on this, divided into 8 milestones of 500 stitches each. I have stitching kind of all over the place. I don't know where I'm going to go with my stitching next, because it's a stamped blanket. Where's the top? Here we go. Needs to be washed, but I can't wash it or else I'm going to lose what I've done, or the markings. So that corner's done. Maybe I'll try to finish this corner over here. I don't know. But that's my starting point. So we'll see where I end up going. Yeah. And then last year I worked on this bottom corner here. So we'll see where I end up going with it. I don't know. Now to fight this stuff and get it back in the bag. It's in a gallon Ziploc bag. I really should put it in a larger project bag, but they're all taken. It's okay. All right, so that's number 7. Number 8. Gingerbread gnome. Stop focusing on my face. There it is. This is from cutebroidery.com. And this is what he's going to look like when he's done. I have a goal to finish this guy. And I'm doing this on an 18 count, 18 count fiddler's cloth, Ada. That is my starting point with him. I have this divided into 4 milestones. My first milestone will be to cross stitch the beard, the arms, and the feet. So finish up his... So I got the cookie done last year. So finish up his beard, the arms, and the feet. So basically from here down. Just the cross stitching, not the back stitching. That'll be milestone number 2. All right. Oh, I didn't highlight Cuddly Bear. Oh, Cuddly Bear quilt, back it up for a second. Cuddly Bear quilt is in the large kits category because it was a kit when I bought it. Gingerbread gnome is in 2 categories. It's in the gnomes and the Christmas category. So when I work on this, it will go towards the Christmas category because that one is larger. All right. I think this is number 9. Ancestors. I haven't worked on this in a little bit. Well, it's a good thing that I remembered to bring my books with over here. This Ancestors is from Emma Congdon. And it is this piece right here. It says we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrowed it from our children. It's a Native American proverb. I have a ridiculous goal of finishing this, even though it was a new start. I don't know what I was thinking when I said that. I've only done 300 stitches on it to get it started. I'm doing this on a 14 count white Aida. That's my starting point. My first milestone is to complete the phrase from our ancestors, do the rocks, and do the bears. So complete the phrase from our ancestors and do the rocks here and the bears right there. Yeah. I have no idea how many stitches that's going to take. 300 got me almost halfway through the word ancestors, so I don't know, who knows. But I believe that's number 9. Give me just a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, one more. Summer. Oh, real quick, ancestors. I want to say is in other. Ancestors. Yeah, it's in the other category. All right, summer. Oh, summer from Cricket Collection. I was sitting there with a blank mind because I'm like, what piece is summer? I was thinking summer sampler, summer in the village, summertime. No, summer from Cricket Collection. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on this, and I've done 500 stitches so far. I'm doing this on a 28 count Lugana in the color Mystic. I don't know who dyed it. I'm doing it 2/2, and that is my starting point. So 500 more stitches to get this milestone done. I know it's in seasonal series. I don't know if it's anywhere else. Let me find it. Summer. It's just in the one category. It's in seasonal series. So 500 more stitches and this will be done. And this is actually, it's showing pretty true to color. I wanted to do it. I've seen this stitched up on a really dark blue and it looked really good. So I was excited when I got this. All right. So there's 10 projects plus my 2 year-long, well, one's half a year, the other one's a full year, plus my 2 focus pieces, the Honeymoon Sunset and Hayes South. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm just pulling them out real quick, set them aside. There we go. So, did I pull 2 for the other category or just 1? Oh my God, I gotta sneeze. I'm just running over my things real quick. Other and ancestors. Yeah. So if I can get, ancestors and, well, no, ancestors, there's no way in hell. There's a lot of stitching. Never mind. I was going to say, if I could get those 2 done, those 2 milestones done, then those 2 plus the other 2 for other Kaleidoscope and Hedgehog would go back in the basket. But there's no way in hell I'm going to get ancestors done. Was there anybody else that was like super duper close that I could get done this week? No, because I didn't pull anything for Sampleresque. That one's the closest. Sampler-esque is the closest one to having its stuff put back in the basket. So, you gonna come up here? Gracie's thinking about it, but I think she changed her mind. But yeah, I'm not sure how many of these milestones I'm gonna get done because Ancestors is a lot of stitching. Autumn Favorites, I'm not 100% certain because of that truck. I don't know how much stitching that's gonna be. So I don't know if that one will actually get done. Let me see if I can kind of estimate on the pattern how much. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't know if Autumn Favorites will get done because it's like it's going to be probably over 600 stitches to get that truck done. So yeah, last week I picked a bunch of 500 stitch milestones and I was banging them out. And this week it's like either 1,000 stitch counts or like just sections of a piece. And I'm like, it's a lot of stitches to get that done. I don't think it's going to get done. So I can't get this back in there. Oh my God. So how many do I think I could actually complete besides the 2 focus pieces? Ancestors, probably not. Autumn Favorites, I'm on the fence. Bake the World, probably not. Maybe, I don't know. Colorful Cow, that's 1,000, probably not. Cuddly Bear Quilt, yeah, that's 500. I could probably go ahead and get that one done. Gingerbread Gnome, that's a maybe. That's another one that's sectioned off, but that's a maybe because I got a good portion of it done. Mountain Cabin, probably not. That's 1,000 stitches. Steampunk Coffee Mill, 500. I could probably get that done. I could get that done. Same with Summer. So I don't know. I could, and then Your Gnome's April is like another 800 stitches. So I'm not sure about that one because don't forget, it's like I got to factor in that 2 of my days are going to be occupied with my focus pieces. So we probably won't get to see as many milestones marked off next week. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. All right. That's all I gotta say. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. And if you like what you had to see and you're not already subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. I'm trying to post at least every week. I'm probably going to see if I can try to film a stitch with me tonight with one of my new projects that I pulled. Because I did not film one yesterday, like I said I was going to post for next week. I'm not really sure about the Stitch With Me's. I feel like it's unbalanced if I just post one Stitch With Me every other week because I'm posting a Flosstube every week. So now I'm like, do I film 2 Stitch With Me's in a week? I don't have that much more new news. So I might not, I don't think I'm gonna have a Stitch With Me next week. I gotta figure out a good balance of what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it, and what I can talk about. Because I can only talk about so much stuff, you know. So anyway. And tonight's gonna be the last night I can film a Stitch With Me because I get my kids back tomorrow. So if I can't think of anything to talk about in the next like 30 minutes or so, I'm probably not going to film a Stitch With Me for next week. You'll just have to wait for the Flosstube. Okay, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. And yeah. Oh, there's Gracie. Hi, Gracie Lou. Meow. So, me and Gracie say adios. Mr. Whiskers is around here somewhere, but I don't know where. Take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.